Hey y'all, hi. What's up y'all? Happy New Year. Happy New Year and welcome back to Black News, y'all. It's Kennelia and I'm so happy to be back here with you guys in 2022. What? Oh my God. So happy and so excited to get into another round of topics. Now, in case you are new to Black News, maybe it's your first time listening, let me explain what it is. Black News is a weekly podcast where I break down current events, hot topics, and local stories involving Black people. We over here chopping it up, talking about all the things that the Blacks be talking about. So make sure you guys check us out every week. We're here tuning in, chopping it up on a weekly basis. All right, first things first. Please continue to like and subscribe to Black News on all platforms where podcasts can be heard. I say this all the time. We are on all of the major podcast apps and we on some of the mom and pops. You can find us pretty much anywhere at this point. And if you can't, let me know and I'll do the work on the back end to get us added to that. But like and subscribe, rate 5 stars, leave a comment, and tell all your friends and family. And that's how we just grow the show, right? Spreading the word. Word of mouth is the best promotion. So please keep doing that. We've been doing fantastic in numbers. We've been growing, getting stronger, and just having a good old time while we're doing this. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. And I thank you in advance. All right. Now let's get into it. Now, low key, I was going to take off for one more week. I was going to have a vacation that was extended. I was going to extend my vacation, but I came back to record another episode of Black News for the new year, mainly because I was out and I saw the disrespect that y'all had online for Jay-Z. Now, y'all know how I feel about Hove. Jay-Z is my favorite rapper, okay? Greatest of all time, okay? Top 5, okay? Dead alive. Jay-Z is my guy. So yeah. But apparently over the break, there was a conversation that happened on Twitter Spaces. Him and Alicia Keys, there was a bunch of other people. I don't know who all was involved. All I know, there was a part where he was asked if he'd ever do a versus, and he said something to the effect of, nobody could ever touch that stage with me. Like, basically he said, nah, y'all can't compete. And I agree. But then, of course, Black folk, because we all like to have a good time, and we just like to throw stuff out there, debate, and start a conversation. The discussion of versus battle between Jay-Z and Lil Wayne came up. So which turned into a whole thing. Y'all, people was making fake versus graphics. People was putting together set lists. Yeah, it just got really out of hand. Mainly to the point where people were just throwing out anybody. Like people like, yo, Jay-Z should battle Lil Yachty. Like it was the worst. Especially for somebody who is a super Jay-Z fan. Now, I felt disrespected because people be acting like they don't remember or know who Jay-Z is. Now, I understand that with a certain generation. If you are a millennial, one of the elder millennials and older, you get it. It appears, though, if you were born probably after 1987, you don't. It's a whole new generation. For people born after 87, I feel like they feel about Kanye with the way we feel about Jay-Z. Or if you're from the South, you got a whole other list of favorites. I saw somebody talk about they prefer Lil Boosie over Jay-Z. Like, y'all got to stop this. Okay? Y'all have to stop this. But, it did start a conversation, especially when it comes to like battling. People were saying, Lil Wayne got hits, and yes, he does. I like Lil Wayne. I'm a Lil Wayne fan, but when we talking about, it's just a bigger conversation than that. One, I don't see Jay-Z ever doing verses because he's a billionaire. Versus it kind of acts as a resurgence or a celebration for artists who may not necessarily be top of the conversation in some cases. Because we had Jeezy and Gucci. People still talk about Jeezy and Gucci. Swiss and Tim did theirs. They still some of the best producers out. 2 Chainz did one with Rick Ross. They still in the conversation. So in some cases that's not. But we also had Shaka Khan and Stephanie Mills. We also had Earth, Wind and Fire and the Isley Brothers. We also had Nelly and Ludacris. So it does, for a lot of people, it does work as that reintroduction into their catalog. Now, we also have never seen an actual billionaire who feels the need to do a versus battle for that kind of recognition. Honestly, I feel like Jay-Z is ego-wise. I don't see him participating in a platform where the versus battle before they was fighting. Like, y'all forget, Busy Bone was fighting last month. Y'all think Jay-Z gonna be like, yeah, they was scrapping. Let me get in on this. He's a billionaire. I don't know. So I just don't think, even if we compare, we can throw out the who we think he can battle, he's not gonna do it. The same way Puff ain't gonna do it. Puff ego is too big to think that he could grace the versus stage. The same way with Dr. Dre. Some people, they just feel like they're beyond this. And I think Jay-Z is one of those people. Also, if we're talking about verses and matching up, yes, it's about hits and song choice. But another aspect is that performance. A lot of the ones where people thought that they were their favorite verses, for example, the Lox versus Dipset. The reason why we liked that one and we thought the Lox and especially Jadakiss did so well, because the performance factor. Jay-Z performs. If you ever been to a Jay-Z concert, he gonna give you a concert. And if you don't know, go to YouTube and pull up Jay-Z's B-sides concerts. One of the best rap concerts you'll ever see. Now, I've seen Lil Wayne perform, and the brother needs an inhaler. Like, it ain't good. It don't. He be rapping over the lyric. Guys, please. Guys. So that's gonna be a factor. Y'all think he gonna be 20 songs back to back in this shape? No, just stop it. But I am interested to hear who y'all think will be a good option to battle against Jay-Z. Not that I'm going to agree with you, but I want to know y'all's opinion. Do y'all feel like Jay-Z's a little too cocky when he said can't nobody grace that stage, nobody can battle him? I mean, I get what everybody's saying, but again, ain't no billionaire about to get up there with somebody who needs verses for a career resurgence. They're not doing that. He collects art. Why people think, whatever. Anyway, let me know what y'all think. Were you completely disrespected like I was? Okay. Were you so traumatized by the chatter that you came back a week before vacation to get in on the conversation? Because I had to come to the Black News listeners. Let me know. Hit me up on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Kennelia. Now, I don't really be watching football no more. After we learned about CTE and after the NFL tried to disrespect Colin Kaepernick, I pretty much was done with the National Football League. For one, and I don't know the stats, but I'm going to throw out here and assume that the majority of football players in the NFL are black or men of color. We also now know, based on research and the trends that we are seeing, that a large percentage of football players suffer from CTE. We also know that the NFL don't care. They don't care, apparently, allegedly. Let me say that. They allegedly don't care about that. So with that said, I'm kind of cool on it, right? I'm kind of cool on it. It just bothers me that we are excited about these men bashing their heads up against each other. No one is going to give them permanent brain damage. Okay, so with that said, I do though watch the news and I listen to and pay attention to the chatter about what's going on with Black people, and that includes Black athletes. So it sparked my interest when this past week, when the Tampa Bay Buccaneers wide receiver Antonio Brown basically took all of his gear off mid-game, threw his sweatbands, arm, his gear stuff into the stands, and walked out. And then they saw him record, took a picture of him outside, child, waiting for the Uber. Then his Uber driver went live in the car, or got video of him in the car. And then Antonio Brown immediately dropped a song that was on like Apple Music. Y'all, they said the song wasn't good, but that's neither here or there. I bring this up for Black news because, one, like I said, I don't pay attention to football, but people kept referencing a hit, that like a notorious hit that happened on the field to Antonio Brown that apparently kind of triggered something or changed him mentally. People also have been referencing his behavior in the past, saying he's always acted kind of like that. He always been all over the place. But I bring it up for us to kind of put a pin in and to call in the fact that when people aren't well, we need to help them. We need to help them. Or also bringing up let's say people do have a history of just bad behavior. Some people just a hot ass mess, y'all. Some people just a hot ass mess. I learned that in therapy, and not in those exact words. My therapist ain't say that, but I have a tendency to try to overanalyze people, or not overanalyze people. I try to put into perspective why they may behave the way that they behave, by relating it back to something that they may have dealt with or experienced in their lives. Some childhood trauma, some adult trauma, just some events that can connect the dots. But what I've learned and what I'm accepting more of is, yes, that can be the case for people. That can be the case for most people or few people. But that ain't the case for all. Sometimes people just raggedy. Sometimes they just act like that. Ain't nothing happened. They mama didn't cut up. It wasn't none of that. Sometimes people just be doing that. So I bring that up again to say, I would like us to pay more attention to people who may be experiencing mental health breakdowns, identifying that, and not be quick to disregard those struggles or not be quick to jump to that. So in the case of Antonio Brown, let's say he has been behaving this way forever, right? Two things can be true at the same time. That can just be his personality, and he can have actual brain damage that is contributing to this behavior. Both of those things can be true, or none of those things can be true. He could be a perfectly healthy man. But I think it is something to say that a lot of the behavior that we see from football players who start to act out erratic, physical violence, just harming themselves and others, sometimes that has something to do with CTE, because we see after they die, the brain then can be examined, and most of them we see have suffered, i.e. Aaron Hernandez. That's one of the first things to come to mind. Junior Seau, a lot of different people. So I just wanted to to bring that up, because I want us to put, and again, mental health conversations is very new in the Black community. So a lot of us don't have the language, and we just not educated on the fact that some people could have been struggling their entire lives. Maybe he has personality disorder. Maybe he's bipolar. That ADHD. It could be anything. But because we're now new to diagnosing these things or paying attention to it, some of our natural conversations just go back to he acting out, he crazy, he disrespecting the game, and blah, blah, blah. Let me know what y'all think, because I know some of y'all actually watch football. Give me the backstory. What's this hit, this infamous hit? And I just didn't have time to research. It's been a lot going on. So I didn't have time to really look at it. And low key, I don't want to pull up a YouTube video and see him bash his head up against somebody. I'm not interested in doing that. I want to protect my own mental health and my well-being by not watching sports trauma. So let me know, y'all, what y'all think. Is this a reoccurring thing with him? Is it just a personality thing? Is he suffering some type of mental illness? Is it the CTE? Let me know. Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Kennelia. Another thing that happened over the break that I want to bring up, and for deeper reasons than surface level, Devon Franklin and Megan Good announced that they were separated and divorcing. In case you guys don't know who that is, Devon Franklin is an entertainment executive. He is also a damn good preacher. Let me say that. Devon be preaching his ass off. Amen. Megan Good is an actress, a producer. She has been in the business since she was a child. First movie I saw Megan Good in was Eve's Bayou. So she's been in this. But they've been married. They wrote the book together. I believe it was called The Wait. They were infamous or known for remaining celibate during their courtship. And they were together for some years but announced that they have been separated for a couple months and now filing for divorce. So they both released a statement. Hadn't really said much about it besides that, but let me read to y'all what the statement said and then we'll get into why I'm bringing this up. So the statement says, after much prayer and consideration, we have decided to go into our future separately but forever connected. We celebrate almost a decade of marriage together and a love that is eternal. There's no one at fault. We believe this is the next best chapter in the evolution of our love. We are incredibly grateful for the life-changing years we've spent together as husband and wife. We are also extremely thankful to God for the testimony being created inside us both for blessing our lives with each other. Now, that was a summary. It could be more. I'm just reading it, taking the highlights off of the internet and bringing it to you guys. But once that came out, I started to see the conversation float around where people immediately assume that Megan did something wrong. Maybe she's dressing too sexy. She was an actress. Somebody even brought up how she used to smoke cigarettes back in the day. Like, she used to date celebrities. Wasn't she with 50 Cent? Y'all know she don't want to be a preacher's wife. He didn't like her role on Harlem. She was kissing old boy in the TV show. It seemed like everybody was immediately saying that it was her fault. Even though we have never heard of Megan Good cheating on Devon, we've never heard of there being any drama in their relationship. We never have heard any of their business. But all of a sudden, the blame shifts directly towards Megan without anybody saying Devon Franklin was at fault. Why do we do that? And by we, I'm not talking about us, the Black News listeners. I'm talking about them. Why are we doing that? And why do we do that? Immediately, I thought about Jada Pinkett Smith. Now, say what y'all want. We know Jada Pinkett Smith is now notoriously known for the quote entanglement with August Alsina. We also know that Will Smith has mentioned and has said that he has done dirt. He knew about the situation, and we know pretty much they have an open relationship. So the only person that was shocked by that was us, not Will and Jada. But we have demonized Jada Pinkett Smith because as a whole, people have romanticized Will Smith and has somehow created a narrative that he is suffering in that relationship just because Jada Pinkett Smith isn't doing all of the things that we think or feeling the way we think she should be feeling about being married to Will Smith. It seems and it appears that we're in the same ballpark with this Megan Good, Devon Franklin narrative. That because he is an attractive man and because he is a network or studio executive, because he is can preach his ass off and he a man of God, that somehow Megan must be the problem because she if not, then she has to be the only reason why that didn't work out. It has to be her. Why do we romanticize men in relationships when things aren't going well? Why can't it be something that they did? Why can't it be maybe he raggedy, Hell, maybe she did do something, but we don't know. And the fact that people immediately go to, it must be something she did wrong. We need to check that. I'm tired of it. I am so sick of this. We need to stop. And by we, I'm talking about them, not the Black News listeners, because we know better. But I know one thing. These people, I won't even say these men, because people can't be hurting in relationships. But a lot of times, stuff ain't go down, which y'all know this, what y'all think went down ain't what went down. Maybe they just grew apart. Hell, maybe they just don't like each other anymore. Maybe they could not find the time to nurture and build a relationship. When you are entertainment and you are working in entertainment, people ain't just, the days ain't like everybody else's. Ain't no wake up, get ready for work, go to work, be at work from 9 to 6. You got the lunch break. Maybe y'all kick it during lunch. You get off work, go run a quick errand, be home at 7 o'clock, sit on the couch, watch Law and Order SVU and go to bed together. That ain't the entertainment life. That ain't the schedule. Or maybe that was the schedule. They were comfortable with it. But that pandemic made people in couples sit down together and have to look at each other 24/7 because we couldn't go anywhere. So maybe they did not like that life. We don't know. What we do know, though, is stop romanticizing these relationships, and particularly romanticizing the men in these relationships. I want to hear y'all thoughts. What did y'all immediately think? What do y'all think? Why are we doing this? Hell, like, enough. Let me know. Hit me up on social media because your girl frustrated. At Kennelia. I want to talk about it. I want to hear y'all thoughts. Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. That's it for this week's episode of Black News, y'all. Thank you again for supporting the podcast and continuing to spread the word, telling all your friends and family, and liking and subscribing. I appreciate it. We are growing. We are getting bigger and stronger in numbers. So I am so thankful for you all. And I ask that you please continue to do that. And when I say like and subscribe, especially on Apple Podcasts, be sure to hit that 5 stars, leave a comment. People read those. They get the feedback. They're like, you know what? That sounds good. Let me hear what she got to say. That's what we want, and continue to do so. Hit me up on social media if you guys have topic suggestions. I'm at Kennelia on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. That's at Kennelia, like Kenny and Ophelia. I say this every week and I'm going to say it again. I got shows, y'all. I'll be out here on the weekends kicking it on stage. Check my website or check my social media, specifically Instagram, to get show dates and ticket information. Especially if you come flying into town, maybe y'all here on vacation, definitely come to a show. It's going to be a good time. And as always, thank you guys so much for listening to Black News and supporting the podcast. Make sure you guys go out here and have a fantastic week. Continue to kill it, doing what you're doing. And I will see you back here next week, same time, same place. Bye.